Yes, it's no secret to my fans that I like anime. Always been a fan of animation, from Don Bluth films, to of course as a child with Warner Brothers and whatnot. But even I must confess that even I've seen you millennials cartoons before. Rather embarrassing for me to admit this, but I've actually seen an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. One episode in particular, which was about the magic conch. Why am I bringing this up? You'll see. It has everything to do with this Volcano Me. This is Super Saiyan Mouse with another edition of Volcano Me. But first, I have to congratulate somebody.
Congratulations, Republicans! You've done it! You now have more powerful than you've ever had since Warren D. Harding was president in the 1920s. Republicans, you have won and taken over Congress. You rule the House of Representatives plus the Senate. There are more Republican governors in this country than ever before. Also control a record number of state legislators. Then last year, your wet dream came true when you had the biggest presidential election upset since Truman defeated Dewey in 1948. You finally took back the White House. Normally, in the first year of a new president is supposed to be the most productive. So, Republicans, after winning all these string of election wins, what are you going to do with all this power?
Nothing.
The shell has spoken!
Nothing. We can't just sit here and do nothing.
All hail the Magical Conch Congress! This is Super Saiyan Mouse with Volcano Me.
I don't know what they have to say. It makes no difference anyway. Whatever it is, I'm against it. No matter what it is or who commenced it, I'm against it.
When Paul Ryan was selected to be the youngest Speaker of the House in 150 years, I was so ready to give this guy a chance. I was like, oh, finally, somebody under the age of 80 is Speaker of the House. Maybe he'll speed things up and move things along a lot more quickly.
Nope. Wasn't. Nope.
Nope. Quite the opposite. Instead, right after Donald Trump won the election, Paul Ryan said the dumbest thing I ever heard a politician say, and that's saying something.
We were a 10-year opposition party, where being against things was easy to do. You just had to be against it.
Oh, you were so used to being an opposition party? Oh, do tell.
Well, I thought my razor was dull until I heard his speech. And that reminds me of a story that's so dirty I'm ashamed to think of it myself. I don't know what they have to say. It makes no difference anyway. Whatever it is, I'm against it. No matter what it is or who commenced it, I'm against it.
Now, in 3 months' time, we tried to go to a governing party, where we actually had to get 216 people to agree with each other on how we do things. It was, he said, the growing pains of government.
That's a lie and you know it! You guys have held control of Congress since 2011! Don't give me this bullshit that you don't know how to govern. That is the biggest lie you've ever told. Oh. And on top of that, we got an even bigger problem. Some politicians, I shit you not, actually said this. They said, well, we honestly didn't think Trump was going to win. You know, we thought Hillary was going to win. So, you know, so all of a sudden Trump won, so now we got to govern. we weren't ready for that. But we're not ready to govern yet. You weren't ready to win the election? Then you should have forfeited the 2016 election. You're seriously, we didn't know we were gonna. That's like a poker player going all in with a pair of twos, and he wins the big jackpot, and he feels guilty about it. Oh, I only had a pair of twos. I kind of feel guilty for taking this jackpot. I mean, if you really didn't think you were going to win the election, then you should have said, hey, Hillary, it's all yours. We give up because we got no ideas. Second of all, you failed to totally and completely either modify or repeal Obamacare. I will get to that later in just a moment, but you guys, for the last 7 years, every time Barack Obama says, oh, the Republicans don't have their own healthcare plan, your response was always, no, we got a healthcare plan too, we got a healthcare plan too, it's right here, it's right here. So once you won, the media, and understand the Democrats was, okay, them Republicans, what was your healthcare proposal? It's like, oh, we didn't have one. Whoops. This is the equivalent of a 10-year-old telling his teacher that the dog ate his homework. Republicans, this is confirmed. You are officially the least productive Congress in over 100 years. Now, I'll be honest, I'm okay with that for a little while. I don't want like laws on top of laws on top of laws on top of laws to the point that almost everything we do is illegal. So you go check out this YouTube video. I might put a link to it. It's about, this guy breaks 26 laws in 60 seconds. It's gotten to the point where almost everything you do is illegal. So I'm not asking you guys to pass laws for the sake of passing laws. And by all means, don't pass bad laws. But for you guys to get nothing done, fucking nothing. But Republicans, remind me, this year, and don't forget about this, the first year of a president, the first year of a new administration is hands down supposed to be their most productive. This is when you're supposed to get the most bills passed. And how many bills have you passed? How much work have you gotten done?
Nothing.
All hail the magical Congress. It's one thing to not be as productive, but to not get anything done? Hey, Republicans, remember all that talk about having a smaller, more limited government? This is not what I had in mind!
This is, clearly a disappointing moment. From skyrocketing costs to plummeting choices and collapsing markets, our constituents have suffered through an awful lot under Obamacare. We thought they deserved better. It's why I and many of my colleagues did as we promised.
Dear Republicans in Congress, you fucking suck at your jobs! Do you even know what your job is? Your job is to write the bills, read the bills, discuss the bills, talk about the bills, debate the bills, have a vote on the bills, move on, confirm a government secretary here and there, confirm a judge here and there, and then you go home. Is this really so difficult? Is this really asking too much of you guys?
Yup, pal.
You get paid 6 figures, a 6-figure salary to do what you do. Some of you guys even earn millions because of lobbyists. If you can't get all your bills passed, that's fine. I understand. I understand you're going to have fights. I understand that you need to debate. I understand you need to argue. Look, let's compare this to Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, I'm going to compare Congress and Dragon Ball Z. Can I? You know in Dragon Ball Z when they fire all their fireballs and they fire the big Kamehameha wave, there's big explosions and there's all this fighting, and then the smoke billows. You think the villain is dead, you think the bad guy's dead, and then the smoke just dissipates and the villain's still standing there saying, "Ha! Just merely a scratch!" Yeah, Congress, that's you right now. All this debate, all this yelling, screaming, all this fighting, nothing done. You guys need to fight? Fight. You want to debate? Debate. You want to have a fist fight? Fist fight. You want to name call each other? Name call each other. Just get me something passed! It's been done before. Okay, you're not the first Congress to have hissy fits, okay? You got shit done in the 80s. Did you know that in the entire time Ronald Reagan was president, the Democrats were in control of Congress that whole time? He got a lot of work done with the Democrats in Congress.
Reagan understood that he was getting this sort of sympathy reaction. Everybody was rooting for him all of a sudden because they didn't want him to die. They didn't want to lose a president. And so without missing a step, he goes right into what the message is. We've got to get this tax and spending bill passed, and we've got to do it now.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States. was just like the movies. Reagan was a true American hero.
The president looking very jovial, very healthy.
I was seated in the well of the House there when he was addressing the Congress. It was magic. Everybody was so grateful that his life had been spared. It was a stirring moment.
If he wants them to stop, they're not going to stop for a while.
Today handed President Reagan and the Republicans a major victory. For the second time in his drive to cut the federal budget, President Reagan got what he wanted from a House controlled by the opposition party.
Reagan comes off of the victory in Congress.
I read the fact that 6 out of the 8 years Bill Clinton was Democrat of the United States. The Republicans controlled both the House and the Senate. And they got a lot of work done.
Our federal financial problem is worse today than it was in 1992. But back then, the media, business leaders, along with Ross Perot and Paul Tsongas, made fiscal responsibility a key issue during the presidential campaign. The country woke up, recognized the challenge, and demanded change.
We come here today, Democrats and Republicans, to celebrate a true milestone for our nation. In a few moments, I will sign into law the first balanced budget in a generation.
You guys now have the House, the Senate, the White House, majority of state legislatures, and you can't get jack shit done? That says a lot about you. And I already know what the comments, because I already had a little debate about this online with somebody, and her excuse was this: stop blaming the Republicans, blame the Democrats. They're the one obstructing Trump and his administration. I don't want to hear it. No. No more blaming Obama. No more blaming Democrats. It's all you. You own this. All of it. Last summer, and here's why I'm doing this volcano me. You guys, for 7 years, 7 years! You had 7 years to come up with your own health care bill. Finally, now is your chance to put in your own input of Obamacare, right? This was your last chance to finally change, modify, or maybe outright repeal Obamacare. What did you guys do? You screwed that up too. So last summer, you got nothing accomplished. Nothing! And then after you failed to repeal or modify Obamacare, what did you do? You went on vacation! V-A-C-A-T-I-O-N, dun 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 dun, in the summer sun. You went on vacation for a month. You took the whole month of August off. Republicans, come here. Come here. Come here, come on. Zoom in. Zoom in more. Too close. Zoom back out. Okay. Republicans. Listen to me well. I work 70 hours a week. I have 3 jobs. For you to sit on your ass and accomplish nothing is insulting to me as a worker, as a voter, as an American citizen. You disgust me right now. For you to get no work done, and then you have the balls to go on vacation for a month. How dare you? How dare you?
How dare you? How dare you?
What do you Republicans have to say for yourselves?
Look, NFL players are taking a knee during the national anthem. Let's go get them.
Oh, no. I'm not falling for that.
This is what I think about your fucking protesting. America.
And this is what I get in return? Go to hell. All of you.
Wow, you people are easy. I guarantee you, Donald Trump's in the White House somewhere, and the Republicans are out there somewhere going, I can't believe we get away with this shit all the time.
I just love how easy it is to get away with this shit with you people.
Republicans, you failed to pass a budget. You failed to pass tax reform. Republicans, you failed to fix Obamacare. You failed to put in your own input, or better, come up with your own healthcare idea. You failed to pass tax reform. You have failed to pass a budget. As a matter of fact, you made the budget bigger. We went from $17 trillion in debt to $20 trillion in debt under your watch. Nice going. And you can't blame Obama anymore for this, so who do you blame now? What's the Republicans' excuse this time? It's 2 words. Jimmy Kimmel. We Republicans, we can't get anything passed because Jimmy Kimmel, I done tell you, he said mean stuff about us on his show. You know what? Excuse me for a minute. I need to go to my car for this part. You are blaming your failures of not getting anything passed in Congress to Jimmy Kimmel? You are blaming a late-night comedian talk show host for why you can't get anything done? Are you fucking kidding me? You're blaming Jimmy Kimmel? That is the most pathetic thing I have ever heard in my life. Pathetic! You know, Republicans, let's start with the budget. There is so much government waste these days. Surely you can find some things to cut from the budget. Republicans, when you say that you want to cut down on frivolous government spending, I am with you. When you say that you were worried about the deficit, I am with you. But when you ask Republicans in Congress what are the first 3 things they want to cut from the budget, they want to cut 3 things and 3 things only. What do they want to cut? Planned Parenthood, PBS, and free school lunches. I shit you not.
These Planned Parenthood videos are horrifying. I would encourage every American to watch these videos. We shouldn't be sending $500 million of taxpayer money to funding an ongoing criminal enterprise. And
I defunded Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
I defunded Planned Parenthood.
In the words of Dave Chappelle, what? Republicans, are you trying to piss off what's left of your women voters? Are you... What the hell is your obsession with this? Planned Parenthood clinics are not going away. Cutting off Planned Parenthood clinics isn't going to make the deficit go down. Oh, wait, that's right. It has nothing to do with the deficit now, does it? You know what? You won't listen to me. You don't care. You won't listen to me. Maybe you'll listen to one of your own kind. I'm going to play a conservative radio talk show host. Go.
Todd Akin, the one that told the women of this country, well, don't worry, you know, you're not going to get pregnant if you get raped because your body has a way to shut down that getting pregnant thing during a rape. That from a man. Richard Murdoch. Oh, if you're being raped, don't worry about getting pregnant. I mean, if the rapist makes you pregnant, then that's just a gift from God. I've told you this before. I've been telling you this for years. If you Republicans ever want to return to power in this country, if you want to save our republic, if you want to return to self-reliance, to economic liberty, to the rule of law, to honoring our United States competition, get rid of this moronic, idiotic, social conservatism crap. Get rid of it. You are never going to make abortion illegal. Forget about it. Forget it. It's not going to happen. We will never take illegal immigrants Mexicans who have been in this country for years and years and years and working and paying taxes, we will never take them and send them back to Mexico. Forget about it. And quit worrying your mindless heads off about a gay couple down the street living in a loving relationship. Gay marriage is not going to change your life in any way. I've been asking you for a year to tell me how a gay couple living down the street from you is going to have any effect on your life. You can't do it. Forget it. Drop it. Leave them alone. 6 months, a year, I've been asking you, tell me one way a gay married couple is going to affect your life. You can't do it. You can't come up with anything. But you don't like their lifestyle. And since you don't like their lifestyle, or their lifestyle is not in keeping with your interpretation of what God wants, you have decided that they needed to be condemned and legislated out of existence. Drop it. Forget it. Start loving these people instead of hating them. Start accepting these people instead of rejecting them.
Republicans, the second thing that you wanted to cut was Sesame Street. Again, I shit you not. You know, Republicans, you could have started by cutting the budget, by cutting some government bureaucracy nobody's ever heard of, let alone would care about. What did you start with? The most popular government program, PBS. You've got to be freaking kidding me. So on top of that, you get a twofer. Not only do you piss off the kids, you're pissing off their parents too. Again, who vote. You know, if you really want to kill something, you're approving go up if you do this. How about we start with a compromise? How about you kill Barney the dinosaur first, and then we'll talk. We'll start with, you know, you want to go kill Barney? We're good with, we cool with that.
I love you, you love me.
What was the third thing you wanted to cut? Free school lunch programs. Are you trying to get people to hate you? Are you actively, your approval rating right now is at 17%, Congress. Are you trying to go down to absolute zero? What are you doing? You know what? Again, sorry, I gotta go back to the car. You guys want to ban free school lunches? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The attack ads against you pretty much write themselves. The Democrats must be pinching themselves right now. Somebody saying, please, somebody pinch me. This must be a dream. You're only handing us the 2018-2020 elections right now. I can see the attack ad against you pretty much writes itself, Republicans. It writes itself. I can see the ad now. A little boy is eating a sandwich, and then a politician walks up, grabs the sandwich out of the kid's hand, throws the sandwich on the ground, proceeds to stomp on the ground, destroying the sandwich, and then the little kid looks up and goes, hey, I was eating that. And then the Republican politician says, get a job, you stupid leech, you lousy moocher. Go read Atlas Shrugged and go get a job. I'm only 5 years old. I'm only 5 years old. What a pathetic excuse. You go get a job, you lousy mooch. That's the attack ad the Democrats will run against you in 2018, 2020, Republicans. So I'm going to say this to the Republican Party. Listen to me very, very, very carefully. We are not $20 trillion in deficit because of free school lunches. We are not $20 trillion in debt because of Planned Parenthood. We are not $20 trillion in debt because of PBS and Sesame Street. Get your shit together!
Here's how bad our situation really is. We already have approximately $11 trillion in total liabilities, including public debt. To this amount, you need to add the current unfunded obligations for Social Security benefits of about $7 trillion. Then add Medicare's unfunded promises, $34 trillion. of which about $26 trillion relates to Medicare Parts A and B, and about $8 trillion relates to Medicare Part D, the new prescription drug benefit, which some claimed would save money in overall Medicare costs. Add another $1 trillion in miscellaneous items, and you get $53 trillion. Our country would need $53 trillion invested today, which is about $175,000 per person, to deliver on the government's obligations and promises. How much of this $53 trillion do we have? Zip. By the time today's college graduates are ready to retire, 40 years from now, the only things our government will be able to pay for are interest on the federal debt and some Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid benefits. All other parts of the federal government will be closed and out of business.
I think now would also be a good time to talk about something else that I forgot to mention in the video, and that is when the government sometimes says that they're going to cut spending, what they really mean is they're not saying they're going to cut spending from last year. What they really mean is they're going to spend less than projected. Here's what government actually does. If you were to give Congress $100 and tell them, I want you guys to spend just $90 of it, I expect $10 and change back. What the government is going to do is they're going to spend $190. And you tell them, no, I told you just to spend 90, just the 90, and give me $10 back. And then the politicians will say, oh no, we did give you $10 back. See, we kept our campaign promise of giving you $10 back. You spent $100 more than I told you to spend.
Oh, no, but we kept our campaign promise. We gave you your $10 back.
Except if I really wanted to use the government analogy of that, for you to give the government $100, they're really spending $990 and only giving you $10 back. Still bragging about that $10 back. No, you take the 100, you at most spend the 100. So whenever you hear, oh no, we did make cuts, what they really meant is they were projected to spend. For example, I'll just use simple numbers here. They were projected to spend $1 trillion. They spent like $1.2 trillion, whatever, last year. And they were going to spend $2 trillion for fiscal year 2018-2019. But instead, they're just going to spend $1.9 trillion. See, we made cuts. No, you spent $1.2 trillion last year. 1.1 trillion, that would be a cut. Spending 1.9, that's an increase.
No, it's a decrease because we were going to spend $2 trillion, but we only spent 1.9. See, there's the cut right there.
This is the deception that they will do, and they'll pull on you. To give you an example, this would be the equivalent of me going to a casino saying that I am on a $1,000 budget and I wind up losing $2,000, but I tell everybody I won because I was really intending on losing $3,000. See, I made $1,000 profit. I didn't lose $2,000. I was gonna lose $3,000, but I only lost $2,000, even though my budget was $1,000. Another thing that has happened is I filmed this right after I filmed the Hillary one, which was in the middle or the beginning of November. So since then, there's already been breaking news in Congress as Senator Al Franken, Congressman Conyers, the guy running for Alabama, has been accused of child molestation of 14-year-old girls. So then we find out that there's been sexual harassment rampant in Congress. So not only they're not getting things done, they're also literally dicking around. And yeah, I would love to go on a tirade on that right now, but if you guys are wondering why I haven't brought that up, that's because I filmed this before the Al Franken allegation came out and stuff like that. Just wanted to mention that. I'll save that for another video, or better yet, you can just give your own little Volcano Me tirades down in the comments section. Also, I welcome video responses to this as well.
You guys want to cut stupid government programs that don't work? I'm all ears. You guys want to pass tax reform. You want to simplify the tax code. I'm all ears. You guys want to do something more realistic. You guys think that the government is way too bloated. and that needs to be more managed. Again, I'm all ears. You know, when it comes to, fellas, when it comes to the government, yes, the government spends really stupid things on stupid government programs. For example, this is real, and I'm making this shit up. About 6 or 7 years ago, during the, the economic stimulus package, one of the economic stimulus programs was they spent in the state of South Carolina. Was it North Carolina or South Carolina? It was one of the Carolinas. They spent $650,000 taxpayer dollars to investigate, get this, why a prisoner would want to escape from prison. You gotta be kidding me. You know what? I'll save you the $650,000 right now. I've never been to jail before, but I can answer that question. Or better yet, why don't you just go spend a nickel and just go call a prisoner. Say, hey, prisoner 63454, why would you want to escape from prison? And you could be all like, oh, nothing. It's just I miss my family. The food sucks here. Plus, my cellmate Bubba wants me to be his wife. But other than that, everything's all hicky-dory here in prison. Now let's go on to your seminal campaign promise, repealing or replacing Obamacare. Donald Trump said, and I have never heard in my life heard a president of the United States say this, he said that he was willing to pass anything by Congress, any repeal of Obamacare, any part of it that you passed, he would sign. I've never in my life heard a president say, hey, whatever Congress passes, whatever you pass, I'll sign it, I'll put my name on it, whatever. Usually when a president threatens vetoes all the time, whether it's Clinton or Bush or Obama, it's like, hey, it better have this, this, and this in there, or else I'm going to veto it. But instead, Barack Obama says, so long as it says Obama sucks, I will sign it. So you could have passed a bill saying, Obama sucks and cookies are yummy. And Trump would have signed that bill. Wow. But you guys had 7 years, fellas, to replace Obamacare, or better yet, fix it, in my opinion. 7 years? And they say I'm a procrastinator. This is my second volcano me in 5 years. So, what did you do? You tried to repeal the whole thing. Fail. Strike one. Then you tried to pass a modification of the Obamacare bill, including making some cuts to the Medicare expansion. Then Jimmy Kimmel came on TV and screamed, ah, you're trying to kill my baby. You want to kill my baby. Okay, so that didn't go down well, so that's strike two. Oh, okay, I will say this to Jimmy Kimmel. I highly doubt you are on Obamacare. Something tells me that you're on a much more pristine healthcare plan provided by ABC. Just what I think. So then you pulled a Hail Mary, the ultimate Hail Mary. You tried to pass what was called the skinny bill. I kid you not, where you're just going to repeal just a portion of Obamacare, like the most unpopular parts, including, I shit you not, repealing the tax on medical supplies, which even Democrats said they didn't like. But what happened? John McCain came in for the block. It was the ultimate definition of irony. John McCain ran against Barack Obama back in 2008, and John McCain saved Barack Obama's signature bill.
Once again, I was going to talk about Obamacare. I was going to go on and on about that, but it's a very sophisticated issue, and we're going to be here all day if I do just finish editing this, so I'm just going to finish the video on the next thought. I was going to talk about things in Obamacare that are good, that should definitely stay, and things in Obamacare that are crap, that should be repealed. But again, I will probably save that for another video, that is, if you want me to make one. Okay, breaking news, Congress did indeed pass a tax cut bill, so that did go through. However, here's my problem with the bill. According to the CBO, this raises the deficit another $1 trillion. Nice going, fellas, nice going. You broke another campaign promise. You guys said that the tax code would be so simplified, I'd be able to fill it out on a postcard. We are now receiving reports confirmed from the CBO. Again, that's not true.
You know what else I love to hear from you guys is Republicans. You're also saying something else really stupid, which is Obamacare is hands down the most unpopular piece of legislation ever passed by this Congress. Fellas, I got bad news for you. That is no longer true. That was true 2 or 3 years ago. That is not true as of right now. Fellas, guess what? Because you tried to destroy Obamacare, you know what? I was wrong about something. You did accomplish something this summer. You made Obamacare popular! It now has a 53% approval rating. So way to go, dopes! Way to go, jackasses! Nice going. As Harry S. Plinkett would say, nice going, assholes. Back to Cooner. I want to play this clip because I want to know just how bad you fucked up. I want to play this clip. Oh, the guy's name is Jeff Cooner. Jeff Cooner from the Boston. Didn't know there was conservatives in Boston, but okay, go.
And so the measure went down 49 to 51. It is over. McConnell needs to go. I think there's no question about it now. These guys would screw up a one-car funeral. McConnell needs to go, and Rhino Ryan needs to go. Let me tell you, look, I mean, this is now, first of all, it's incredibly depressing. Okay, I woke up this morning when I found out about the vote. I was incredibly depressed. I'm going to be very honest with you. No, it's beautiful outside. It's sunny. Beautiful weekend is coming up. To me, this is a failure of historic proportions. Why? Because for 7.5 years, the Republican Party told us, promised us, vowed to us again and again and again and again that if you gave them power, they would repeal and replace, or at a minimum, repeal Obamacare. Now when they had their chance at bat, they blew it. You blew it! And they didn't just blow it, they lied to us. Because now we find out that many of those votes that they kept casting under Obama, they didn't mean. That was just to manipulate you, the rubes, us, the voters, into thinking they were serious. So what you're facing now is, I believe, a crisis now in the Republican Party. I don't even know how the Republican Party, frankly, survives this. Because how can we believe anything they say? This is what I don't get from these people up on Capitol Hill. You know, I understand politicians lie. Believe me, I'm not naive. But to lie on your seminal central promise that you ad nauseum again and again and again and again promised and repeated to your voters for over almost 8 years now, and then to renege on that fundamental promise, I'm not going to believe you want anything. Why should I? You're going to cut my taxes? I don't believe you. You're going to build a wall? I don't believe you. You're going to deport illegal aliens? I don't believe you. You're going to cut spending? I don't believe you. You're going to defend the Second Amendment? I don't believe you. Why should I believe you? Because it's obvious you're willing to lie about anything just to get yourself elected, and once you're there, you do the exact opposite. That, to me, is point number one. But I believe, to me, this was the final betrayal. To the Republicans, I am done with you. I'm done.
GOP, I don't think you realize just how bad you fucked up. This could be fatal to your party. You may very well have caused the events that will make you go the way of the Whig Party. If this guy says he's done with you, what do you think the independent voters are going to say? What do you think the swing voters are thinking right now? When it's an easy fix. So, guys, this isn't rocket science. Fix that stuff. Keep everything else in Obamacare that's popular. Guys, this is not rocket science. Follow the polls. There's parts in Obamacare that's popular, and there's parts in Obamacare that's unpopular. Repeal the unpopular parts. Republicans, are you going to pass a budget?
No.
You're going to cut my taxes?
No.
You're going to cut spending?
No.
You're going to defend the Second Amendment?
No.
Are you going to lower the deficit?
No.
Are you going to pass anything else?
Try asking again.
Are you going to fix Obamacare?
No.
All hail the magical Congress! But I also want to point out one more thing from me. Give me a reason to vote for you next year. Come on, pitch it to me. Why should I vote for you? Because as of now, I have no reason to vote for you. None! By the way, what tie am I wearing? Get this thing off me! Get it off me! Get it off! Who gave me this tie?
Ain't I, a stinker?